it's good that people agree to come on, don't they? Not know nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of devil, is Joe.
Evening, lads, you alright?
Fellow mate.
Right.
Hi, Colin, you alright?
Yeah, good, thank you.
The first one, and I think, to be honest, the Premier League's already kind of answered the question on this one, but it was the Miles Lewis-Skelly red card. Again, if you're asking my opinion, I didn't think it was a red card. I could see how it's potentially given in the heat of the moment. But then I would expect VAR to help out on that one. So I guess what was your take on it?
I think the narrative's changed quite a lot around that card now. It's been rescinded, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think at the time and after watching it on Match of the Day and stuff and seeing it happen live, and I said to you last time, you can see why the referee has tried to give that decision, or why he's seen that he's standing 2 yards away. He's seen his studs come down onto the back of his ankle. It's nothing to do with the position of the attack, because that would just bring a yellow card in if it was just a normal trip, to break the attack down. I think it's because it's the back of his leg and he's sort of gone down on it. I know he doesn't catch him properly, and it's not like an ankle breaker, I don't think. I was in two minds about it, and I'm still in two minds about it now, to be honest. I don't want to
Really,
I don't want to sit on the fence. I can see his logic, and I know he is one of the best refs in the Prem. I just don't think the Prem have done them any, PGMOL have done any favours.
Yeah.
Sort of rescinding it. It's probably not a red.
Yeah, when I first looked at it, it was, and I think that was why I made my initial point in that I could see in the heat of the moment why it was given, because from potentially the angle, as you say, potentially comes down the back of his Achilles, right the way down, and that is dangerous play, and so be it. Obviously, with the benefit of hindsight, and then you've got the VAR checks and so on and so forth, you can see that necessarily isn't the case, and it's almost a bit of a clip. And then, as you rightly say, the PGMOL maybe haven't helped themselves a little bit with rescinding it, but then obviously you've got the Premier League handbook then going around, and people going, well, actually, there's a clear picture as to why it is and why it isn't. I think you definitely got a point to say. I don't think overall they've helped themselves in the wider situation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think now a lot of these decisions, especially on Match of the Day and Sky Sports and stuff like that, they're always looking for whether that's a precedent or there's been a precedent before. I know, was it the start of last season, McAllister got sent off and it got rescinded. I don't think that was ever. I'm not saying I disagree with them rescinding the cards, but they're always looking for whether it's a similar challenge that's happened before or since. The Jones against Tottenham one's probably another good example. Probably haven't seen anyone get a red card for that one since.
Yeah, it's a good show where he goes over the ball. Yeah.
It's a difficult one, and as I say, it changes week in, week out what the argument is, what the narrative is, what the rules are, what the Premier League are doing. It's obviously exacerbated by all this ref watch stuff as well, because Michael Oliver's ended up getting all this dogs abuse. It was a contentious decision, fair enough, but it wasn't a howler, was it?
No, as I say, I could see it. I could see it both ways. Obviously, if it was against Liverpool, I might, feel slightly differently. But I think in the heat of the moment, you could see why it's potentially being given. I think really I guess the bone of it is, and I appreciate the VAR doesn't want to re-ref the game, but if there's an error there, surely there's a chance for it to step in and bit of save Michael Oliver's skin a little bit there. You know what I mean? And I think everyone would appreciate it a bit more to go, well, maybe go and look at the monitor, go and have a check of it, kind of thing, rather than just let him go on, and then obviously all the fallout kind of happens from the back of it.
Yeah, that heat of the moment thing as well is a good point, because that game state, although it's not he's not through on goal, it's not a red card. There's a counter attack that's immediately on. Everyone's senses are heightened. He breaks down the attack by taking down the back of his ankle. He's 2 yards away from it. He's seen it better than everyone and thought, that's a red. I agree with you that VAR could have stepped in and said, have a look, but don't quite know where we stand now, even with this on-field decision and referees call and stuff like that. How high that bar needs to be set.
Yeah, and I think as you rightly say, it's the unknown right now. No one knows where the levels are, and
Yeah, it changes every week.
Yeah, and I think I've been quite vocal to anyone who'd want to listen to say, I'd even accepted being wrong as long as it's consistently wrong. At least we know where we're working and what kind of platform we're playing on. So yeah, it's a tricky one. So, but well, no, good take. I like that. Colin and I were talking about it, and we kind of disagreed a little bit on this, bizarrely, because I was 100% steadfast on this one. So, Col, we were talking about Gakpo, weren't we, and the penalty?
Yeah, I give up on the yellow and red cards as well. I think it's the consistency on, isn't it? If you watch some matches and get a yellow card for not on for one tackle, and then some matches where they do 3 or 4, they don't get one. So I give up on trying to work them out. But the Gakpo one, yeah, I think if you run that pace and you clip someone's leg, it's seen as a pen. But I think watching it, when it's slowed down, you could see it. But watching it in open play, yeah, I think he must have a cracking eyesight to have seen it, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought that. I'd been out refereeing beforehand myself, got back, put the stream on, and we had a pen, and I just thought, yeah, Sam, we've got a pen, must have been obvious. Watched the replay and was like, where's the contact?
Yeah, what people have said, if he's through on goal as well, he's not just going to go down, is he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That was the defence of it, but yeah, I thought it was the faintest of touches, but obviously it has enough on it, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's caused him to trip on his own foot. Feeney, are you of the opinion that wasn't a penalty?
I'm of the opinion it was a Stonewall penalty.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
he's the clip, however fine it is, he still clipped him. It still made him lose his momentum. So for me, yeah, it's an absolute nailed on penalty. But as we were talking before, there seemed to be a lot of chatter after it about it not really being too soft, or did he even make contact, that kind of thing, which I was dead surprised about. Hence why we're talking about it now.
Yeah, it's sort of the angle that was behind it made it look like there wasn't that much contact. And then if you look at the side angle, he's clipped his own foot. But as Colin said, if he's got a clear shot on target there, he's not just gonna go down there, is he? And then I think it probably comes back to all these angles and the Havertz goal that got disallowed to come off his hand a few weeks ago. All the Arsenal fans coming out and saying it's not on ball, it's his chest, and they're looking in the wrong place. And everyone else who hasn't got Arsenal tinted spectacles on can't see his hand that's clearly touched it and it's gone into the goal. That was clear as day. That wasn't contentious, but it's the angles thing again, isn't it? And
yeah,
the ref gets one look at it at the time. So good point.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
the best being in a good position to give it.
Yeah, and I think, as you like to say,
was it Cook or can't remember who fouled him, but there was a lip reading on him saying, yeah, it was a foul when it had gone to VAR as well. So
yeah, all the acknowledgements already there, kind of thing.
Yeah. Doesn't always make it a foul though, and sometimes on a Saturday afternoon that on our level makes it a bit more difficult because they're like, he's laughing at you there. That was never a foul, or even he said you got it wrong, and you're like, you've just got to stick to your guns sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking about at your level, obviously it's FA Cup week. We're going into the next rounds, and just really as you know, FA Cup starts off almost at grassroots level. Do you ever get called up to any FA Cup games?
In like the very early preliminary rounds that start in like August, like you wouldn't believe how it's like first round, preliminary, qualifier to get into the round. So I've had a few games on the line there up at Litherland, Remacher, St Helens Town under 23s I had earlier in the season. Yeah, you get called on to the very early ones. And then today, actually, there was an email going around about the LCFA Senior Cup, and sort of you get the likes of Everton, but they play like the under 21s, you get like St Anne's Town, and then you get a few amateurs in there as well. So an email goes around, and you could end up on Prescott Cable or Warrington Rylands or something like that.
Yeah, great stuff.
Technically, you've got Everton in that as well. You wouldn't get any of the first team playing in that, but I think they're still in it, as far as I know.
Cole, anything from you? And you want to fire at Joel?
Yeah, thanks for coming on first and foremost. Really appreciate it. I think me more questions around refereeing. How long have you done it for? And how long have you done it at an amateur level?
It's been 13 years now. This is
13 years.
13th season, yeah. Started out just like my dad knew someone from work, and he said he runs the courses and that. Why don't you just go down? I wasn't really that interested in it because I was still playing at the time. And then I went on a skiing holiday with school, thinking, come back and went, you know what, I'll do it. A couple of extra quid at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then you start going out when you're 16, 17, you're doing your games on a Saturday and a Sunday, and you get your beer tokens and that, and then 13 years later, I'm still doing it.
Still doing it. It was up Miami asking how much did you get for a game at that level? How much do you pay you?
At the level I do now, it's £50 a game.
Okay. And do you do adult football, kids football?
Strictly adult football. Don't enjoy doing the kids football anymore.
No.
It's a good pathway to learn, but I think what's harder is that you've got to deal with the adults on the sideline who aren't playing. And then you've got kids, and there's a bit of ambiguity about, whether there's a foul, whether you should be doing offsides or cards or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? There's when they're a bit younger and they're just going down crying or they can't tie their laces and stuff. I don't want to do that babysitting anymore, so I do the adults only now.
Yeah, it's the adults easier than the kids.
Liverpool Academy and Everton Academy, but mainly the adults now. Yeah.
Yeah, and what makes you want to be a ref then? What's the main reason?
It's a good question. It's a question myself there every week. It's the love of the game. It's just I just love football and every sort of watching it in every different way. I watch it as a fan. I watch it as when I used to play as a referee. Now I used to be a sort of tactical analyst as well when I first started out in my career in data. So there's so many different angles on it that sort of make me see it in so many different ways. Yeah, it's just love of the game, really. And it's
would you like to progress up the leagues, or quite happy at the level you're at?
One day, maybe, yeah. I'm quite happy where I am at the minute. I'm refereeing in a really good league, Liverpool Football League, which is sort of one below the County Premier League. Get some really good games on that. The standard that hasn't gone up in the past couple of years. It's not like old boys now. There's a lot of competitive young teams who've gone on to go into the sort of Northwest counties and the West Cheshire and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I'm at good level at the minute. Get some nice appointments. Maybe one day I'll go up a few levels, but we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you watch it from different angles.
Yeah.
When you watch a match, is there certain referees that you watch and think he's the best, or that's who I'm gonna model myself on a Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. So probably, as everyone says, Michael Oliver's probably the best in the Prem at the minute. I know he's had a bit of heat recently, but then Peter Banks, who did the Arsenal Man City game on Sunday, is from Liverpool himself. Refed with him a few times and seen him go from being the level I'm at to 13, 14 years later. He's on the Premier League. He's on the FIFA list as well. So I think he was at the World Cup last time out. Definitely look up to him. And then the night after the Arsenal Man City game, he's up at Bootle Refereeing Society doing a presentation. So there's no airs and graces about him. He's a normal fella.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram. Really nice fella. Yeah, there's a couple of them in the Premier League that you look at now and you're like, you can see a bit of yourself in them, rather than they're the best decision makers or they're the fittest or whatever. Yeah. And then me and my dad and Samu, my brother Samu, who's also a ref, we watch the Champions League games and that. We always have a laugh at the UEFA refs. But it's a completely different style. There's don't take any shit off anyone.
I was going to say, who would you say is the better refs, the English refs or the European ones?
The European ones, but I think that's a lot led by the process that they're following as well in UEFA.
I think that when I watch it, I think the European ones are better as well. I agree with that.
I think the games just flow a little bit better, and there's not really any controversy around what's happening. They just make a decision and they sort of move on. So there's a Dutch one, Danny Machaleli, I think his name is. He's a Dutch police officer in his spare time, but he's really good. And then there's, I think he did the Champions League final season before last, this Polish fella. I'm not even going to attempt to say his second name, but this bald fella, Simon something.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll take my hat off you for doing it. I don't think I could do it, so fair play to you. And just, thanks for joining, thanks for coming on, really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
And obviously the PGMOL are helping you out, Joel. They've got a 6-point plan. I've just read before about sorting out VAR and automatic offsides and stuff. So yeah, we're onto a winner with a 6-point plan. You can't go wrong, really.
Lovely. So I haven't read this myself. Are they looking at the semi-automated offsides now?
Still trying to get it in before the end of the season, but apparently it was meant to be in around October time, so we're still waiting. So we'll see what happens. We still probably have to wait 3 minutes and get told not in the stadium and stuff going on, but we live and learn. Joel, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it.
Nice one. No worries.
Take it easy. Ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra.